Poland has just begun to reopen after the latest lockdown. And apparently, human beings are not the only ones enjoying the first ice cream outside. With the idea of resuming my bike journey after the winter break in Germany, I packed my things and cycled from Berlin to the Baltic Sea. From Świnoujście, my plan is to follow the biking routes Eurovelo 10 and 13 along the Baltic Sea until Gdansk. For those who don't know it yet, Eurovelo is a network of 17 long-distance cycling routes connecting and uniting the whole European continent. You can find out more and plan your next journey at www.eurovelo.com. After the first sunny days, when I'm almost halfway between Świnoujście and Gdansk, I wake up to a Baltic Sea enveloped in fog. And rain. When it becomes impossible to carry on, I seek shelter in a sklep, one of the grocery stores that, like oases in the desert, are a favorite destination for fellow cyclists. Advancing at snail's pace, I cycle the last leg of my bike journey to Gdansk. Gdansk is a city full of history and symbols. It's in Gdansk's shipyards in the 1980s that Poland's first independent trade unions was born. Solidarność would later play a central role in the downfall of the communist regime. Hanging from a balcony, I see the symbol of another mass protest currently ongoing in Gdansk and elsewhere in Poland, a mobilization against the near-total ban on abortions recently adopted in the country. My initial plan was to follow the Eurovelo route until Kaliningrad, but an entry ban is still in place in Russia. The other option left is to continue my Baltic tour on the other side in Sweden. From Gdansk, after testing negative, I board a ferry for Nynäshamn, near Stockholm. From the deck of my ferry, I see the Polish coastline as it vanishes on the horizon. I'm waving goodbye to Poland from the port of Westerplatte, the place where, in the early hours of September 1st, 1939, Nazi Germany's aggression began, dragging the whole world into the abyss of World War II. In a curious twist of events, only a few days ago, I cycled across the modern-day border between Germany and Poland on the Baltic Sea. During the pandemic, you need to prove you are vaccinated or negative, but in normal times, this is literally a line in the sand you barely notice. I feel like a privileged person because I can cross this line riding a small bicycle, but this border has caused so much suffering to previous generations of Europeans who lived through the horrors of World War II and were later divided by the Iron Curtain. The contrast between these two images could not be more striking. These are not just different moments in our history, but entirely different ideas of what Europe is about. A nationalist and aggressive Europe versus one that is tolerant, open, and peaceful. A Europe where borders are drawn with blood versus one that can overcome them altogether, at least somewhere. Which kind of Europe we want to relegate forever to the past and which one we want to embrace for the future is entirely up to us.